Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. This is episode 6. Last time, we rescued Lucanus, the Demon of Virantium, part of the Antivan Crows, into our midst. So he's been rescued and recruited. We went down to the ossuary, an underwater prison, which was super exciting to check out. I really liked exploring that and seeing these new environments around Thedas to traverse, places that you've read about for so long and just been waiting to see, actually properly realized. So that was super fun. We have also ended last episode in the Veil Jumper camp because we've got Bellara's companion quest to look into. And the reason why we're on the pause menu right now is because I saved at this point, and then opening the game actually triggers some dialogue. So I paused the game as it started, and we're just gonna reload our save file from last episode and listen to this. Because I was like, oh, dialogue immediately starting, even when I'm not close.
Receiving your message was quite the surprise, Strife.
Desperate times and all that.
I'm still not clear on who you really are, Morrigan.
If I can provide assistance, do such things matter when the world faces such peril?
It could. You're friends with Solace.
Our relationship is more complex than you suggest, and circumstances have compelled me to stand against friends ere now.
Interesting. They're like, the world is ending. Does it matter why I'm here? A little hand wavy, just a little tiny bit hand wavy. Like, Morrigan's like, nothing about my backstory genuinely matters. I'm here to help out and the world is ending, so let's focus on that. And like, I get it, but also, Darren, I really should have insisted to Melia that she leave the depths of the forest earlier. I knew that something was wrong. My magic felt different. The air felt charged. Even the wind rustling through the leaves sounded like a warning. She told me to go ahead, to wait by the river. I was there with the others when we started seeing the lights in the sky. Her Aravel never made it out. I'm so sorry. You may have read that already, but just a refresher, just in case. So, Morrigan Strife do have some conversations. I'm surprised you asked me to be here. But she clearly can assist. So there you go. Now, whoa. I'm going to open up our journal and start a quest today. So, Bellara has Echoes of the Past and Fit for a Veil Jumper. So, oh, that's the offer a gift. Okay, wonderful. We'll do this one. So we're meeting her just up this way. And we currently have Harding with us for her quest. And I don't think we've had Harding and Bellara together yet. So we'll take that as an opportunity for some party banter. If any comes our way, hopefully some comes our way. So this part of Arlathan is now open to us. Previously closed before we were traveling to Demeter's Crossing. And somewhere nearby we'll be able to help out that spirit on the boat as well. Oh, nice.
Heard ya.
Now, the only problem about this, when I start seeing stuff that only certain companions can interact with...
What that does.
It's ancient Elven, I know that much. Probably tapping into the Fade and drawing from it. Whatever it is, it wasn't here before. Things like this now pop up out of nowhere.
Well, there you go. I reckon whenever we're walking around Arlathan, probably a good idea to have Bellara in the party because she can tinker with things, but then I'm seeing stuff like that. And I guess Harding can also interact with certain things too. So you never really know which characters are going to be the best sure thing for discovering secrets, because this conveniently is Bellara and Harding to get to this device. Sometimes you'll need two companions.
Sure thing.
What do we get? What happened? There was no pop-up after that, so... Was it something that got... No, the library is that... Was it a memento? I don't think it was a memento. No, because that was the pocket frog. I don't know what we got. There was no pop-up. Let's read some Dwarven Codex lore before I forget it, though. Thoughts on Isatulnol, because this was stuff that I guess has popped up after doing Harding's companion quest. Harding, how can anything be both all and one, together but separate? It doesn't make sense, does it? But of course it doesn't make sense. You can't make sense of an idea without a word to define it, to give it shape and boundary. Maybe Isatulnol is a word we forgot. And then we forgot that Isatulnol was possible. Think about ants. Ants know what they are, they know their purpose, and they must understand instinctually how that purpose fits within the whole. But what if it doesn't end there? What if their consciousness isn't just individual? What if the nest itself knew what it was? A collective sentience of some kind. Nothing says the ants don't have a collective sentience, we just assume they don't, because they're ants. Ants or bees or Darkspawn. Now, there's a thought. Oh, love Dagna, Inquisition Arcanist, the Arcanist, Dagna. We got a Dagna mention in the Codex notes. That is very, very cute. So I guess Harding would be like reaching out to Dagna, you know, the magically obsessed dwarf. Still referred to as the Inquisition Arcanist, right? Now, an interesting part about this is I know that letters between friends don't really need dates on them, but we're like, when are these notes being formed? Because we disbanded the Inquisition. You know, was this in the time of the Inquisition? Is this just like Dagna holding on to that title proudly, you know? Because I think we're in 952. I think that's the year we're in. We're halfway through the Dragon Age. Harding's notes, thoughts on stone sense. I can more reliably use my new abilities now thanks to Rook's encouragement. Oddly enough, it's easier to handle certain kinds of rock. Some just don't seem to respond to me. Is it a Titan thing? Maybe some stone was closer to or part of a Titan? Maybe I just need to get better. I don't know. It must be stone sense, just extra. I can now do the things that people with stone sense can do. If I concentrate hard, I can tell if there's a cavern close by, or water, or a lyrium vein. I can tell different types of rock apart. They sound different, but I'm listening with something other than my ears. That makes no sense written down, but it feels true. Encouragement from Harding's Ma. Dearest Lace, remember when Sir Russ bucked and threw you and you landed face first on that pitchfork? There were so many tears those first weeks from not recognizing yourself in the mirror, but that was mostly the swelling, and in the end, the scar didn't ruin anything. You learned to accept it as part of you. Of course, the Titan's gift changes you. Every day adds something new. Sometimes it's little, sometimes it's big, and so often it's painful, but it doesn't lessen us. Change is difficult, but all growth is. And a thing that stops growing, well, it's dead, isn't it? I do worry, of course, about what it all means, but I've always worried a little about your adventures. Whatever comes, I know you are strong enough to bear it. Love, Ma. That's cute. Harding's notes, Kal Sharok. I've been thinking about Kal Sharok. Aside from Orzammar, it's the only other great Tig we know about. It was supposedly destroyed in the First Blight. The Tig was in the Darkspawn's path, and the dwarves sealed it off and retreated to Orzammar. They abandoned their own people. And then, about 20 years ago, this is cool. So about 20 years ago, because I think this ventures into Dragon Age Origins territory, because that's sort of when that comes about in around the Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2 time. We learn that the city survived and continues to hold a terrible and justified grudge against Orzammar. Kal Sharok has secrets, many, many secrets. How they survived the Blight is one, and I hope a greater understanding of the Titans is another. Charter knows people who can put me in touch. I hope they're okay talking to me. It doesn't matter if they don't know much more than I do. If they accept the Titans and are curious about them, it'll be a huge improvement over Orzammar. Because I'm trying to remember Kal Sharok specifically. Yeah, I think it was from... I think Kal Sharok was in Dragon Age Origins. yeah, we learned about Kalsharok stuff. I think Kalsharok has been mentioned, just like referred to in all of the Dragon Age games so far. So when it's like about 20 years ago, we learned that the city survived, which is around Dragon Age Origins timeline. Now we have Harding's notes, Orzammar, and Titans. Getting the strong feeling that Orzammar doesn't want to acknowledge the Titans' existence. You'd think the capital of Dwarven civilization would be interested in the history of our people, but nope. Almost 10 years since Shaper Volta connected with her Titan, and they don't care. I know they know. I delivered the Inquisition report to the Assembly myself. Technically, I delivered it to an Assembly aide because I'm a servicer and I don't get to be anywhere near the Assembly Hall. Sure wasn't fun learning that. Records that exist outside of Orzammar mentioned great sleeping Titans and the first ancestors. Maybe Orzammar's leaders removed all reference to the Titans from their memories on purpose. Maybe they buried our report on Volta for the same reason. Are they afraid of something? Maybe accepting that we all came from the Titans makes it harder for them to defend the caste system and their treatment of the casteless. Ugh. Of course, they've got to keep the systems in place while their whole entire lives have been a lie. They're like, how dare they do that? And the memories and the Shapers, the Shaper it wouldn't have got that wrong, you know? That's really, really cool. All right, we've caught up on the Dwarven entries. Let's check out this Elven artifact. Can I climb up here and around? I can. Yes. I noticed this too late. Woo! I got a bit bleeded. All right, there we go. We found this. I got a bundle of herbs. We interact with an artifact, summon a portal to a floating platform, and all we got was some stinky herbs. Gotcha. Very... oh, interesting. Lara's quest. Bellara returns to the Veil Jumpers to test ancient elven artifacts and ensure they behave safely. This quiet moment offers a chance to get to know her better.
Okay, we all know why we're here, right?
Make sure that the artifacts we calmed stay calmed. We know.
This should be easy. Yanarl, you and Strife take the first set. Irlin and Hamuel take the second. Rook and I will handle the rest.
I'm still a little confused about what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh, of course you are. Sorry, sometimes I forget not everyone spends all their time studying ancient elven artifacts. We're going to check the crystal alignment, fade connection, and the Lyrium reserves.
Has alignment ever been a problem? Even once?
It's not worth the risk. Even if it's only off by a little bit, we know what happens.
Happened once, and we can't even be sure the crystal alignment was why. Look, I know what you're saying, but maybe if
We check it every single time.
I'm sorry. You're right, sorry.
Forget it.
Are you okay, Bellara?
I'm fine.
It's my fault, really. I'm sorry, Bellara.
Let's go. We want to get back quickly.
Of course. See you soon.
Whoa, tension. What was that about?
So what was that all about?
What was what all about?
That tension. Seemed pretty heavy.
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
What the fuck?
Here we are, the artifact vault. Or one of them, at least.
Looks like it's seen better days.
Repairing reality doesn't leave a lot of time for repairing walls. At least until someone falls through a hole in the floor. Random example.
Okay, I'm gonna read this. Artifact name, Silasis's Firefly. Found in the center of a large charred circle, artifact will emit tremendous heat and light when unstable. Will melt stone. Okay. This is cool. Ancient elven artifacts and we get to read about them. I'm on board with that. Egg. Gilinane's Binding, found in the ruins of an unnamed Tig. Artifact will combine multiple living creatures into one body when unstable. Causes immediate death in most cases. Oh, Jesus. Well, considering the fact that Gilinane was doing, you know, the weird blight experimentation, doesn't it just cast that kind of stuff in a new light now? You know? When you're like, whoa, weird, I guess it's a malfunctioning artifact. And now that we actually know, we're like, nope, that thing probably works as intended. Mixing different things together and making them blighted, perhaps. New content available at the library. Codex updated. Scouting report, the trees are singing. Expedition scouting report. Veil jumpers Renan and the Seer reporting. The trees in ruins reach started humming today. We heard faint echoes and went looking. We could never pinpoint it, but it sounded like music. It took us a while to realize it was coming from all directions, so we spent an hour going in circles trying to make sense of that. Finally, it dawned on us. It was coming from the trees. We were completely surrounded by the hum inside it. The whole forest was bathed in it. We couldn't tell if it was the leaves or the branches making the sound. We brought back samples of both, but as soon as we left Ruins Reach, the hum stopped. We haven't heard it since. Interesting. We got a Hulla. Earthman's Guidance. Found on the western edge of White Spire, buried in snow, the artifact will cause nearby objects to continue floating upwards indefinitely when unstable. Currently cannot be retrieved. And there are objects stuck to the roof. It's giving the oldest house control objects of power, right? You've got like the containment, and the Federal Bureau of Control have their weird artifacts. Where's my weird teleporting rubber ducky? This is the Tears of June, found at the bottom of a large well. Artifacts will separate all nearby materials into constituent pieces when unstable. Materials can include two power cores, eh? The ancient artifact cheese. Cheese wheel. That's our second cheese wheel Easter egg that we've discovered. Hastily scrawled note. Borrowed the gauntlet artifact, figured out how to make it create arrows, and it resonates with other artifacts. Not sure what it means, but interesting. We'll return soon, promise. Bellara borrowed the gauntlet artifact, and that's what she has on her arm. And she replaced it with a wheel of cheese. Good job. Carefully written note. We need better guidance around artifact retrieval. No clear direction on what to do when you find one, and how you tell if it's safe. Lots of new people means lots of risk. Bellara has some suggestions. Given her history, she's motivated to make this all safer. Suggest we convene and talk about her proposals. So there you go. She's borrowing an artifact. Maybe it's a pressure plate, so she had to replace it with something. A locked door. What, do you hate me or something? Ah, I see.
Okay, see those two power crystals? The one...
Okay, new power crystal is in.
Yeah, I'll beat you there,
And the
Bellara.
artifact didn't collapse the room.
Was that a possibility?
Always is.
That is really interesting placed, because it's just like, follow Bellara or look at the interesting things. And I'm like, well, I'm going to look at the interesting things first. I didn't even notice that she was at a dead end. So I'm like, oh, power crystals. I'll just do everything in reverse order as usual.
And there we go.
So it's calmed now.
Should be, and it'll stay that way for a while. And in the meantime, it won't tear open reality. Okay, let's keep going.
Sure. Sounds good.
So this artifact is just a glorified lamp and it's just burning batteries like no tomorrow? Maybe you should put it in one of these chambers and let it go crazy.
So, it's
Whoa.
nice out at least. You know, ignoring that reality itself is paper thin here.
Hard to ignore that.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to ignore this too. It's crazy that you'll run through an area and see just some whack shit like this. And anyone want to bring it up, or are we looking at the pretty lamps instead? What the fuck? Yeah, this tree was once a lot of different elves, and they got caught in some interesting magical blast, and there they are. And that's just how things go. That was really hidden.
Found one.
Great. Bring it over here and put it in the socket.
Oh, there's 3 instead of 2 this time. Where I come from, they call this an AGL. That stands for Artificial Game Lengthener. You say, let's draw this out.
So what did this artifact do? Before it was calmed, I mean.
It would bring flaming rocks down all around it, every 30 minutes. And for some reason, you'd hear chanting while it did it. Not sure what that was about.
Interesting. My immediate thought when I hear something like that goes to hearing the song that is always sung, the song that is sung that feels different for every single creature that is listening to it. You have the Darkspawn that hear the song. You have the Song of the Stone, right? And how the Stone song is more of a beat. It's more of a percussive drum. And then the Darkspawn song or chant is more of a melody. And if we're tying, you know, Darkspawn and the Blight and the Ancient Ones and the Evanurus and the Forgotten Ones and Old Gods and putting all of that in this same box, that song, that chant that these elven artifacts are humming while meteors rain down could be the same song that the Darkspawn hear. Especially if there's that Gillenane connection now.
Okay, reserves replaced, which means there. Everything's looking good. Thank you, by the way, for helping out. You have better things to do, I know.
We're keeping reality intact. That feels pretty important.
Right, good point. Okay, one more to go.
This is the first Dragon Age game where I think I've picked the more sort of like tougher options more often than not. Because they don't even really seem pretty tough, they just seem kind of like...
Not too far now. Thank you for giving me this chance to help people.
You were already kind of doing that as a veil jumper.
Sort of, but it was never as big, you know? As grand. Helping you. Well, we're helping lots of people. Everywhere. I like that.
I made that jump. I made that. The dialogue options, the tough ones, feel way more appropriate to the situation a lot of the time. Like being serious. I mean, what part of the world that we're in, the state of the world, the end of the world, you know, everything that's going on, even more so than Inquisition, even more so than Dragon Age Origins in terms of the end of the world, because this is the end of the Veil, this is the end of everything. So this ends up being automatically bigger than the events of Origins and Inquisition. But there is that happy-go-lucky sense of how characters talk to each other. And I wonder if that is not only intentional, but it's more of like trying to keep it from being just so fucking grim because of the nature of the story. But I find myself picking the tougher, more serious options a lot more, and then occasionally some humorous ones. I find myself actually more often than not struggling which one to pick. So I'm like, which level is this? Which level of serious, light, or humorous will we even get? Even sometimes the light options are humorous, and even the tough options are humorous. So there is that a more of a heightened level. You're not going to be doing any of the Dragon Age Origins or lower tier dialogues of like Renegade or anything like that. That's for sure. You're all going to be friends to save the world. My friends are my power. Alright, last one. And this time, this one burns even more juice than the others. One there. This. Needs a lock. Okay. Nature of immortality of nature of. Verse of old Arlathan in textile. We saw no end to fear for us, and songs would sing instead of birth, an unknown start more strange than death because. Interesting. The nature of immortality of nature of. We saw no end to fear for us, and songs would sing instead of birth, an unknown start more strange than death. Are we talking about Darkspawn and the song?
So how do you calm an artifact anyway?
You have to cut it off from its power source, but carefully. Some of them like to try and blow up when you do it.
We're gonna witness that or nah? Let's witness it blowing up. So from here, how do I get over there? Oh, I see, actually. Hold on. There's a reason why that one is over in the corner. Put this one in first.
Hey, Rook.
What you need?
Never mind.
Found the other crystal.
Great, slot it in.
I actually think, as well, on dialogue options, in terms of me picking up the, picking the tougher ones more often than not, our Rook is very chatty too, like very talkative with our characters and companions, like outside of dialogue options. So our Rook is less so our player character and our own person, but also someone with their own agency and their own feelings that are communicated outside of our control. You know what I mean? Like there is actually a lot of dialogue that is not chosen by us for our character. Which is also very interesting because a certain personality and attitude gets assigned to your Rook that you don't necessarily have control over, and then the way that you talk, you only have those few options in terms of control, and it's all a varying degree of like the same thing. At least from what we've experienced so far.
There. Done.
You okay?
Oh, I'm fine. Or will be. It takes a lot out of you, all those little magic bits. Not hard, just exhausting. But it needs to be done, and done right.
I mean, they are helping. They're just doing it elsewhere, aren't they?
Any veil jumper could do this. You need to watch yourself so you don't burn out. Why would you specifically have to do it?
Because maybe then I can make up for it.
Make up for what?
For not being good enough when it counted. I'm sorry, I can't. Not right now.
Wait, she went that way, but she went this way. But yeah, that was... See, when there's a couple of moments where, like, dialogue-wise, you're like, are you okay, and what happened, and I don't get the chance to ask varying degrees of that. It's an interesting thing to wrestle with, I think.
Bellara, I'm,
My brother,
What?
back there. You asked me why I did this. Why I put myself out here. For him. For my brother. Wherever he is.
What happened to your brother?
Syrian. His name was Syrian. We were the same, you know? In a lot of ways. We wanted to learn everything. About Elvenon, the magic, the people, all of it. We heard about the Notisterthalin, figured it had the answers, or some of them. Then Arlathan started going wrong. I joined the Veil Jumpers to help people. And he kept looking, kept putting himself in danger. It should have been safe. I know, I checked that artifact 3 times. I guess it should have been 4. Artifact started pulsing. He was too close. I couldn't find my way in. They called him a hero. Wanted to make a statue. They thought it would make it all okay.
Did it say I'm sorry in the previous one as well? Damn, this is...
You loved him. They loved the idea of him.
They never knew him. Not really. Didn't know why he did what he did. Syrian, he felt responsible. For our people. For me. My little brother. He thought he needed to take care of me. He called me Vora Shivan. Hummingbird. In Elven. Said it was because I could never sit still. But he loved me for it. Said it kept him thinking. Trying to keep up. And he helped me too. He kept me focused. Anchored. And now he's gone. Because I wasn't good enough.
It's not your fault. You have to know that.
Then why does it feel like it was?
You lost someone important. Guilt's part of that. But if you don't learn to get past it, you'll drown.
I wish it were that easy. I've tried. Told myself I couldn't have done anything, and My head believes it, but my heart doesn't. So I try to make up for it. Honor him. Learn about our people. Find the truth. Maybe when I do, I'll feel it.
Feel what?
That he forgives me. And that I deserve it. We should head back. Rook. Thank you for being here.
It's a good scene. Music was really, really nice there. Gorgeous scenery to have a shot like that in. It is good being able to like learn about our companions in a moment of vulnerability, which is really, really nice. I am excited to dive into all of our companion quests for that reason, because we don't have the ability in the lighthouse to talk to them and learn that way. I like that it's a more of a proactive way of learning by doing an activity together. That's a fun way to do things. And then in that moment where they feel like they know you a bit better, they'll open up to you about certain things. So that feels really good. We've learned more about Bellara and her motivations and why she does the things that she wants to do, and has a bit of a sad and tragic backstory. Again, towards the end there, like on that scene, and I only just mentioned it as well, it comes up as a pretty clear example of like, there's a lot of times where Rook will speak for himself, and how he or however your character wants to speak with companions or others, we don't really have control over that. And I feel like that's because in that specific scene or those specific moments, the writers want it to go a specific way or have a specific reaction, or how Bellara, you know, lets us know certain details. So there is like a level of scripted story and cutscene that I feel disconnected to my Rook in those sequences. I'm not choosing to ask or investigate, even. Like the investigate options are really good. Those have been kind of few and far between at the moment of us engaging with characters, but it was a really nice scene. Bellara tested the artifacts and concluded that they are safe. She also opened up about her brother Syrian, who died in a magical mishap that Bellara blames herself for. And that retroactively now we understand why there was that tense confrontation if you will, between Bellara and one of the other Veil Jumpers, because she started apologizing and I was like, what was that about? You know, and now we know. So she's really keen to make sure everything is tested and fine, because while they should be, clearly there's been events that have taken place that are quite personal. So we've got a keepsake focusing contraption. Simple device to focus magic, reconstructed from relics found in Arlathan. So increased healing and ability cooldowns and companions cooldowns. Nice. Check that on ya.
The horrible way to go.
Never seen anything like it. I'm used to plants that you eat, not the other way around.
Everything about the forest is changing. Now even the plants can kill you.
Wondering what they were talking about. That. Yep. Okay, Harding is now joining us for this area. We have the codex on the Elven people. Letter from Ireland to Bellara. It was good to see you. Felt a little bit like old times, you know? Just going out there and doing the work instead of worrying about everything else that's happening right now. I know things are a little weird, and I know that some of this isn't really my business to say, even when we were together, but I'm going to say it. There you go. There's the Bellara Ireland in a relationship confirmation when they were together. You have to stop beating yourself up over what happened with Syrian. I know you think you're the person who can fix anything, but you can't. No one can. You're a friend, Bellara, and I still care about you, so give yourself a break. Meditation on grief. They say grief is a knife, sharp, painful, immediate. But grief isn't a knife. It's a stone, choked down and kept down. It erodes. Time makes it smaller, lesser. You forget about it. It passes into memory. Where you used to feel its pain, now you feel nothing. Sometimes it turns. A note, a flower, a smell. The smoothly worn edges retreat, twist away. What comes now is as sharp and jagged as ever. It cuts anew, it's worn anew, then it all happens again. And unlike a stone, there is always another jagged edge. I mean, true, but also horrible way to meditate on grief, because you're like, it's painful. But very true. Moving in this way, gain deflect at the start of each counter, which is ready to go. Control abilities, maximum deflect stacks, and projectile abilities. Where should we go? Ooh, grappling spear. That looks pretty sick. Pinnacle of Grey Warden combat prowess. Yeah, in terms of specialization, where do I want to build to? Reaper is Mornwatch, so... Well, I mean, I've got to go to the Mornwatch. Defender of the living and dead, the Mornwatch Reaper leeches life from enemies through shields with precision and turns their own pain into strength. Yeah, we for sure got to head over in this direction. So, to get there, I can go this way. The shield toss damage, and we'll start pushing through. Gain flaming weapons. We'll push in and get bloody advance for necrotic damage. Spectral bulwark. Deadly ground. Okay, so this direction starts getting necrotic, which is very fun. And then level 20, we'll be able to get the Reaper specialization. Spirit Storm. Call upon the Mornwatcher's occult knowledge to unleash a necrotic storm. And just the straight Reaper ability. I really like the big green scythe. That's a lot of fun. Death's Throw. Awesome. That's probably what we will build to. Bellara has some skills. When you have low health, replenish automatically triggers if it's not on cooldown. I like that idea because my health can go low quite a lot without me thinking. And time slow. Stage. Let's do that. And then galvanized fear doing electricity is pretty fun. So I think we have... We'll put Bellara on support. Applies weakened, detonates something. Let's do that and do that. I think Harding's got a healing ability on at the moment, so maybe I'll do that. I always feel like I'm looking at Destiny when I'm looking at companion screens that are, you know, the clothing and the items and the accessories on either side in those squares. It's very Destiny. Impetus cannot be acquired if this is purchased. So you get confident. You get split directions when triggered. Cooldown is reduced by 7%, or cooldowns are all cooldowns are also reduced by 20 seconds. It's either getting more of this one, getting more of all your abilities. I'll do that. We'll just push in that tree. Why not? Lovely. Now, if we pull up our journal. Shadows of Minrathis is finding the Shadow Dragons in Docktown, so we can return to Docktown. Let's do that. Return to Docktown via the crossroads or fast travel. And I think what we'll do is do this. So let's travel there now. And because we're going to Docktown, we need Nev. And let's go with Lucanus. I think that would be nice pairing, because I don't know, I think Lucanus would vibe with Docktown. Let's do that. We had Bellara and Harding, so we'll just switch it to the other two now. Mixing and matching.
Fewer people than I expected. Let's find Asher.
Asher?
The Viper. He prefers to be called Asher in private. Said I could tell you.
Okay, nice. Actually, if we check the map and we go to the world and we go to the lighthouse, doesn't look like I can see the local map of the lighthouse. I don't know if there's like, you're gonna have a timed missable dialogue with a character back at the lighthouse, you know. I assume that would be more main quest, and then there'll be potentially a companion quest follow-up. We'll find out. Right, we're in a safe house. Shadow dragons. Hello, Asher, aka the Viper. You've got a cool dog.
Trouble in the Anvalanim. Darkspawn.
But those tunnels are safe passage for...
I know. We've had to close that entrance.
We can help. We recently had to deal with Blight. Those Darkspawn have to be destroyed before they get out into the city.
If you get through, signal the all clear at the hidden door.
Asher, more like Matt Mercer. Let's get a close-up detail on the fit over here. Let's take a look. We have keys over here. And lots of pouches. Lots of belts. Shadow dragons are very fashionable. You got like the snake eye kind of vibe going on the hat and on the shoulder pads. You call yourself the Shadow Snakes, pal. Pretty cool. He's just got a snake obsession. I mean, they call him the Viper. What do you expect? I like this beautiful world map. When are we going to see our sea monsters? When can we fight those? We've got Ferelden and Orlais down there. The Anderfell's up here. We got Tevinter and Saharon. And Antiva and Rivain. Kirkwall right there. Pretty fun. Hello. Yeah, snake vibes and dragon vibes. They're very big on that whole thing. Fair enough, both are cool.
Raining again.
I once heard that's because all the magic that keeps the Archon's palace floating messes with the clouds.
Typical, huh?
Floating palace. Anything cool in the kitchen? I can't even go behind the kitchen. I want that piece of meat. It's a good idea to not let me in the kitchen because I'm hungry. We got some cheese wheels. We're going out that way. What's downstairs? Nothing. Don't go in there. In a barricaded room in their own safe house? Oh, that's fun.
This is troubling. Darkspawn in the city.
And in one of the worst places. The Shadows rely on those tunnels to rescue people.
That's cool.
Of course.
Of course. The safe house being located in the back of a pawn shop.
I'm just the assistant.
Bro, we're matching. Matching broken horns, gang. High five. How'd you lose yours, pal? So is this Shadow Dragons merch?
Welcome to the shop. I'm Lorelei. Anything you need, just ask.
Nice. Alright, Shadow Dragons. Lost most of your valuables, but you can take some of this. Sold them all to the Veil Jumpers, you see, mate. what have you got? We have a rank up on our Spellbound Longsword and Scepter of Shadows. We got some cool gear here. We have the Relentless Sleuth. See, if we pressed square for details, a preview, a preview again would be really nice. It's like, I don't know what I want to get. Obviously, you want to get up to rank 4 so you can get the cool stuff. I have an idea of what the clothing looks like. I mean, it doesn't look exactly great, but I'll get that for Nev. And Flawless Crystals. Collected evidence. A gift. Text fragments point to a strange, if harmless, local myth. Docktown's detective has been known to chase it as a hobby. That's fun. We'll get the gifts when we get them, of course. Ooh, dexterous leathers. This snug outfit is padded to protect against the cold of the Enderfells and the claws of the Darkspawn, crafted in the style of Tevinter. That looks fun. I'll grab that. And Guard's Broadaxe, Paragon's Luster. I will not grab that. Let's get Nev. Cold damage. Attack my target deals 50% barrier damage. Oh, but that means you'd have to remind me how to keep on to companion commands. I don't have time for that. Will I upgrade this sword? Yes. Let's spend the money. Right. Quest acquired. Fit for a detective. We currently have the Dark Shard, which is cool. But I guess I'll put that on. I guess I can blend in with the Shadow Dragons where I'm wearing my fit. And go, look, guys, I fit in. That's a fun thing I can get. I guess you can do if you're setting out on a specific quest that's related to a faction. You'd be like, hold on, let me just transmog my my stuff. I like that. So you can have certain things. Can you transmog for companions? I don't think so. I think the appearance only applies to your character, right? I might be wrong about that. Nice. We get to take Nev's hat off. It's not a bad hat, but we get more of a look. Nice hairstyle. Again, the snake imagery with the prosthetic is badass. And the snake embroidery on here, this is really cool to like, you can see that they put a tremendous amount of effort into the fashion and style of this game. Like there is a lot of detail in all of the clothing and equipment and everything. The snake's eye and the Scepter of Shadows. The snake's eye looks so much cooler, but we got to do it, unfortunately. So if we take a moment,
We'll have more.
If we take a moment to photo mode, and we'll be taking many moments to photo mode. This is great. So at one point, you just have to accept the Shadow Dragons really like their snakes and just let it be, So they're like, we got the snake embroidery, we got the snake belt buckles, we got the bigger snake belt buckle, which is a little bit looser, which is pretty cool. We got more snake belt buckles there, by the way. We got the multiple snakes on the flap, whatever you call that. The groin flap and the butt flap. They got snakes in there. Plenty of snakes. Big snake guy, But the detailing is really, really impressive. That's cool. I guess Lucanus is like, I'm a crow, so my fit also has a lot of crow stuff on it. They're very into their themed clothing.
I'm Hector. I watch the front. Make sure things are quiet.
Rook.
Good to meet you. Be careful out there.
Well done, Hector. Oh, it's this guy again. So we've been here before.
Didn't need you eyeing my treasure.
Sarah was never an agreeable girl. What is this? This person looks very uncomfortable up there. It's playing Sarah's song. Sarah was never an agreeable girl. Only real ones will appreciate that one. We got Tavern Song showing up with the buskers in the street, which is very fun. Obviously, you'll be able to buy stuff from the same people as you did before. I don't think their inventory is going anywhere, which is good.
I'm sure you have business somewhere, elsewhere.
Okay. Be able to go back this way. What was this again? What was this ability? No valid companions. You know what would be great? If you told me who is a valid companion, but I might not have unlocked them yet, so they can't really tell you that, can they? I just gotta wait till I have all my companions before I start going back to areas and exploring. This is what I was saying before, where it's like, I feel put off, and it's probably a good thing. I feel
Beyond Valanim should have an entrance this way.
What's the word that I'm looking for? I don't feel motivated. I don't feel pushed to explore and engage and find optional things as much at this current point, because it's just like, I'm just going to come back here much later when I have all the abilities unlocked and characters unlocked, and then I'll just be able to pick it all up, you know. And God of War did that, 2018 and Ragnarok. So, and there's a lot of similarities in navigating environments that is like the God of War games. I can feel the inspiration there. I feel a lot of different video games, bits and pieces of them.
Wall carving. Keep an eye out.
But this is one of those. So in terms of exploration, it's like if it's not directly on my path, probably not gonna try my hardest to pick it up. Oh, shield bash.
Let's finish this.
There. Is that the wall carving you mentioned?
That's the one. There's a switch behind the serpent's head on the left.
What is going on there? Well, you did not have to really worry about that wall carving, because there's a giant door that this door really stands out, you know that, right?
Got it.
That doesn't look like a secret at all. I'm like, that's a door.
Like the ossuary, but without the view.
It's a big ass door I see there. Oh, Jesus.
Don't like the sound.
I'm scared. That vibrated my very eardrums. Oh, I like it. As soon as the blight shows up, I get pretty excited. Because I'm like, that's when shit gets, like, grim. Blight shower. So,
we can get through now.
Are our characters just, like, heavily resistant to the blight, or what?
I got blight on me. Let's kill
alone.
those shadow dragon rats, so I can leave this place.
I got blight on me. You can, oh my god, you can cast that ability from the air. How cool was that?
Reinforcements. We can't let them reach the shadow dragon hideout. Even more Venatori. We have to take out the leaders.
Oh, that was so cool. So, jumping up and pressing my slam ability, I can jump off ledges and do that. That's super fun. I'm really curious about the blight in this game. I assume it's a different blight, right, to what we know, so it operates differently, and I think that's the explanation that we've been given. Like, the Darkspawn look different. The blight operates in a more ancient manner, So I guess in terms of like Darkspawn blight infection, that is also the same thing. Like people would get close to the blight and then get infected and turn into a Darkspawn. You had to, you had to kill them. Well, I mean, in that memory that we did with Solus had to kill that person, one of his agents, because of the blight. So yeah, it just makes me wonder if our companions are just really resistant to it, you know what I mean? Brother D and Brother Nomad.
Take your shot. Those Darkspawn and Venatori were on the same side.
I know, and that worries me. At least that seems to be the last of them.
It should be safe for the shadows to use the entrance again.
Let's find it and tell them to open up.
The bleeding shard is a piece of red lyrium, and we're just equipping that? Worn by Divinity Magisters and Venatori alike, the shard that sits in these rings is capable of drawing blood from an open wound. Bleeding damage. Is that not red lyrium? Man, you should have... That happened to my buddy Bartrand once. He had a red lyrium idol, went crazy. We just wear that as rings now. I can't wait to tell Varric. I'm like, Varric, look at this cool red lyrium ring I found. You think I'm gonna go nuts like your brother? Like, Brooke, what are you doing? I didn't hire an idiot. Maybe I did. Magister's bargain. Oh, I could have bought that, and then we could have upgraded it, like literally right now. Keep what we have, though. There's so many, so much gear, so many pieces of equipment. Overwhelming. The very constant, uncommon, common, rare loot stuff. Look at that. Pole of the Unknown Magister. A sealed pole crafted to contain a specific powerful Venatori Magister. The Shadow Dragons haven't revealed or perhaps decided on the Magister, and so are all afraid instead of one.
There it is. The hidden entrance back into the shop.
Oh, is this...
All clear down here.
This is gonna be that door.
I'll get the door.
Oh no, this is it. This is not the door that I was expecting. I was like, this is gonna be that door that we checked underground across from the barricaded one. And nope. In a different section.
How did the Venatori find the Shadow Dragon's hideout? Isn't it a secret?
We help the people in Docktown. They know where we are. Someone might have talked about the shop. People spreading rumors, that's easy to handle. But Darkspawn, that's different.
Now it's going to be the door on the other side. It is. I think my favorite part about my character is when the door handles glow and our character's like, I don't need no door handle. I just push to open. Wonder if there is a door handle, door opening animation, or if it's just push that door open. Can I pet that dog?
You really saved our skins there, Rook. Those Darkspawn could have destroyed us.
It wasn't just Darkspawn. Venatori were there too, and they weren't fighting each other.
How is that possible? Darkspawn attack all living things.
Darkspawn are blighted. If the gods control the blight, they might control the Darkspawn.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
The Venatori could have magic that protects them, or worse, they could be allied somehow.
If you're looking for answers about the Venatori, I may have a lead. A warehouse on the other side of the city. Lots of cult activity. and some of them were spotted headed towards a shop. Could be a coincidence, or it could be something more.
It's worth a look.
Agreed. Rook?
Let's go.
Let's go. I'll pick the, like, alarmed option, but it comes across as the humorous option.
Talks tomorrow. The Viper, or Asher, I suppose. Is he the leader of the Shadow Dragons?
One of them. He made his name freeing slaves and supporting their rebellions. He won't stop until slavery ends in Tevinter.
A noble cause.
So,
a tough one.
Viper's real name is Asher.
A middle name. He calls himself Viper for first impressions, or so he says.
What do you mean?
Asher just doesn't have the same impact, does it?
My name is Viper Asher. Man, what's his last name? We must know. Bring it full circle. You gotta let me engage in dialogue with him and let me investigate. Be like, what's your name, pal?
Venatori, we're close.
He's just rolling. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna roll in from a distance and they're gonna think that looks real cool.
More Venatori. Guards, probably.
Last. I wonder if we can, oh, well.
Locked. There has to be another way in.
Venatori, stop leaving the rooftop passage open. It lets in a draft.
Someone's mad about their fellow Venatori leaving the rooftop passage open.
It's in both drafts and people. Yes?
Correct. That is our way in. That'll be also how we get to that chest. Blood hunting zealot. Whoa!
Time to end this.
Let's keep moving before more of them come crawling out.
Boom. Oh no, more of them crawling out. Oh, they're not even in the way to get hit by that.
Someone conveniently left the rooftop entrance open again.
End it now.
Stop dying!
Stop
It's all
dying!
the Venatori guarding the place.
Sorry! I like, stop dying! Like, get good then. What do you want from me? I don't know. Get down there.
Great. The Venatori are up to something. Time to break it up.
Nice. It's time to interrupt some blood magic, probably. Okay, hey fellas, what are you doing down there? And how do I become a part of it? Okay, hold on. Would have thought. Yeah, behind here, man. Nothing gets past me, dude.
Summoning Darkspawn.
How?
They're using magic to control that Darkspawn. We have to stop it.
Down Herlock, eh? Let's go!
I am your vessel!
Why would anyone even want Darkspawn?
We're under fire. Look out!
Why would anyone even want Darkspawn? I want to rule the world. Flame chained mage. Whoop.
How's that?
Thanks, man.
Will be punished!
That's all of the Darkspawn and Venatori. Let's search the place, figure out what they were doing.
The Herlock exploded into a chest. He eated it. He ate that. No. Yes, they're summoning Darkspawn and saying, "You work for me now, pal." Knight Commander Lenos, we are blessed indeed to have a loyal friend in you. Continue to serve us, that you will be richly rewarded for the glory of Tevinter reborn. Okay, guys. Now just take this to the courts.
This note. Knight Commander Lenos of the Minrathous Templars is being paid off by Venatori.
Damn it.
That's all you have to say, damn it! We can expose this. We can expose the corruption. Let's take this to the high courts of Tevinter right now, second. We're just gonna say, damn it? Surely we're gonna do something with that information, right? We'd have to. Ah, yes, a whole 1% increase in my ability damage. Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll do that, right?
Look at this. Draining into the tunnels below the city, perhaps.
One more way the Venatori released blight into our tunnels. I'll tell the other shadows.
Okay. This door to get in from. Shadow dragons are watching us. Do not let them get close. The exact location of their hideout is unknown, but they use the catacombs and Darkspawn to root them out.
This explains the Darkspawn we keep finding in the catacombs.
At least they don't know where the Shadow Dragons are. Exactly.
Ritual instructions. Elganon has blessed us with ancient knowledge. The relic lets us control Darkspawn through their blighted blood. Use it to destroy our enemies in his name. Instructions follow for a magical ritual to draw on the relic's power.
The gods gave the Venatori a relic they can use to control Darkspawn.
Alright, everyone.
Is everything all right in there?
Take this to the courts.
I thought I'd see if you needed help.
Too late.
Did you find anything in there?
The risen gods taught the Venatori how to control Darkspawn. Explains why the hideout was attacked.
We found documents from the Knight Commander. I knew he was crooked. I didn't think he was actually a Venatori.
Let's head back to the shop. We'll discuss things there.
Head back to the shop. I don't know if this is in focus. I don't think it is. I got my Hanged Man mug. Got that Dragon Age 2 merch. That's when you know he's a real one. The one that everybody tells you to skip. And they're wrong.
You managed to catch the stragglers fleeing the warehouse.
They'll think twice before coming back here. What else did you find?
The Venatori serve Elganan and Gillenane like we thought. They gave the cult control over Darkspawn.
Great. Sounds like the Venatori are going to be even more trouble.
We can handle anything the Venatori throw at us.
How do we know we can even trust you? You're not from here. You don't know Minrathous like we do. And we know as little about you as we do these risen gods you unleashed.
Now, what is it they say? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The cult has its hooks deep in the city. Venatori backers sit in the magisterium chambers, and now they wield power given to them by the gods. We'll have to get along if there's any chance of surviving this.
May, what are you doing here? You promised you'd lay low.
Tried it, didn't much care for it.
Who are you? And can we trust you?
Look at that. There are bounds to my infamy after all. Refreshing.
Rook's been working with us. Mevaris is one of the Shadow Dragon leaders.
I hope Minrathous hasn't been unkind to you. Tevinter is wary of the Qunari thanks to old and ongoing enmities. Mevaris Talani, formerly Magister Mevaris Talani, at your service.
Wait, formally?
My enemies conspired to have my magisterium seat stripped from me. We can talk about it later, if you want. My concerns feel petty when stacked against risen gods. The Shadow Dragons have a lot to discuss, but you, Rook, are expected at the Swan.
Me? The Cobbled Swan, why?
The first Warden is here to speak with you.
The first Warden? Let's hope we actually get some help with the Blight.
Come back when you can. I think we'll need your help again.
Who the hell is this? We're getting Grey Warden stuff. Alright. The first Warden. Who gets the title of the first Warden? Venatori serve the risen gods, who have given the cultists magic that grants them control over Darkspawn. The cult's influence and power spreads, which means trouble for Minrathous and the world beyond. So they mentioned, obviously, the Venatori, they got their hooks in the city, they got power in the courts. You can't just be like, look at us, because they would just be like, lies, slander. And I guess, like, if we were in the Shadow Dragons as a faction and our backstory, this would go differently. It's going to be different when we get to Navarra with Mornwatch stuff. That's really fun. There is an element of replayability that only comes in regards to those faction backstories, which is neat. We also got Qunari specific dialogue for being in Tevinter, which is few and far between, but appreciated that it does get sprinkled in there, because very openly walking through the city, you know, as a Qunari, and you've got the Arntam situation, and you're like, well, what's going on? Actually, no, the Arntam is in Treviso, isn't it? Scratch that. But Tevinter and, you know, the Qunari are obviously at war, and then the war has gone into a stalemate sort of situation. I mean, it was always in a stalemate anyway, but it's like not progressing. So then the Arnhem were like, what if we just went over to Treviso instead? So they're over in Tiva. We'll see what happens, but at least having our race mentioned is a good thing. Acquired. In peace, vigilance. You've been acknowledged as a Shadow Dragon ally, and an exploration level has been unlocked.
Spotted any more Darkspawn?
Not close to the shop, but we're keeping alert. We haven't seen the end of them. Rook?
Asher?
Shepard? Rex? Shepard?
Greetings, Rook. Things are going well. Rook?
Asher?
Alright. So that's just going to be it. If we cycle through all the dialogue options, the talk option should just disappear, in my opinion.
Greetings, Rook.
I would prefer the ability to talk to Asher and open up a dialogue wheel and investigate. How long have you worked with the dragons? What's going on with you? Blah, blah, blah. Like, learn about the characters. Learn about these people that we're chatting with and, you know, from them instead of just hearing it from other people, like Nev being our mouthpiece for like, oh yeah, by the way, Viper this, Viper that. The ability to sit down and talk with supporting cast is really fun. They can teach us more about the Shadow Dragons. They can teach us more about what's going on. Investigate options are really good, and we have, you know, control of how we engage with them as well. I think that would be nice.
How did you join the Shadow Dragons?
Help.
But you see how I can't ask Asher that, but I'll ask this guy, and I'm not even choosing. I'm just like, I wonder what he'll say, and I wonder what I'll say. There's this question of like, how am I going to interact with this guy?
The Templars looked the other way when there was a slave rebellion going down. Turned out that the Viper was helping. He brought me on.
And how did he join the Shadow Dragons?
Tarquin?
Gallus.
Shepard.
I know I said we couldn't trust you, but I'm still grateful you helped us when you did. Rook?
Oh man, I didn't even show him respect and say it back to him.
You good?
No, apparently not.
Rook?
I'll say it to Asher, but not to you.
That Venatori stunt with the Darkspawn has me dreading what's to come.
You and me both.
How are things?
How are things? I don't know. I have no dialogue.
Rook.
May.
Hello, Rook.
That is a crazy rug to have. Oh my god. Like, I know the Tevinter slavery stuff, but hang on a minute. Isn't Asher, like, Mr. Viper, like, we were just told he's fighting against, you know, slavery in Tevinter. He's obviously against it and trying for liberation. You guys seen the decor they got around on the floor here? They got the fucking glorified slavery rugs. Asher, how do you feel about that? And another thing, that could be a dialogue option. So I hear you're like, you know, opposing slavery and you're on the other side of that. How's that going for you? Oh. That is absolutely crazy, dude. Like the fucking, the rug. That's nuts. Was this some sort of, we got some Canary relic thing that they've got chilling in here? Alright, we'll go this way. So gain help from the Wardens. Meet the first Warden at the Cobbled Swan. Is this going to be our Warden?
They're telling us to watch out for
Is this going to be our Warden companion, though?
Any help from the Grey Wardens?
I imagine the Grey Wardens have their hands full elsewhere.
So it seems the more that we've entered these areas of the game so far, at least early on, we have specific NPCs that are the ones that have the exposition dialogue, or at least like situational dialogue about what's going on. Like these guys were talking about something else before, and now they're talking about Grey Wardens because we're getting help from the Grey Wardens. So it's sort of topical dialogue based on what we're currently doing. Candlehop study. Do I remember a time when candlehops didn't run messages through the city? Such remarkable magical constructs. They seem to have no particular allegiance to the palace and absolutely none to the Venatori. In fact, they appear to actively avoid the cult. I even saw one burn their pamphlets. Where do they come from? And is it just me, or have there been more candlehops around lately?
Talk to Lorelei. She's the boss.
Okay. Did you like that?
I heard about the warehouse. Darkspawn, huh? Those damned Venatori.
Damn, I need more of that ore, but I've been upgrading all of my equipment. No. Can't rank up yet.
See you again.
Hector. So now we get to go this way, I suppose. Ah, cool. It's you.
Busy?
I'm chasing a fraudulent enchantment scheme. It's harmless until the buyer thinks they're immortal.
Anything new?
I'm sure you'll uncover something.
Ev, you want to say anything?
Here for another visit. Stay safe.
She like wave or acknowledge her just then? She like turned to face her, I think.
Rook, doing well? Good to see you.
Oh no, she just turns around sometimes. Where's that barking come from? Because that is not... Oh, right there. Buddy, settle down. I can only pet this one dog because that other one's going to bite my hand off. Pet every dog in the city. They got any... Everyone's got dogs. Big dog and cat city.
So, hiring the demon of Virantium was your suggestion.
It was a possible lead. Finding things and tracking Venatori. That's what I'm here for.
After all the jobs I did in Minrathis, the last thing I expected was a Tevinter mage to be involved in breaking me out.
Well, good. I hate for assassins to find me predictable.
Nice. Yeah, destroy the scaffolding of the city for a bit of wood.
Got company.
I'm admiring the stuff. Oh wait. Huh? Oh, mercenaries. Whoa, where did that guy end up? Get him. I love it when their buddies go there. Wait, I'm already level 14. Jesus, I was only just level 13, and I didn't even apply the skill point yet. Shield volley. Striking a shield toss with a shield attack. Strike the shield back. Enemies up to 3 times. So triangle every time it comes back. And rage takes longer to decay. And then we'll get spectral bulwark. We can also shield toss, shield volley. Where's shield toss specifically? Shield toss is just the basic moves, is it not? Shield volley. Turn to sender. Shield toss is just what we have. Staggering toss. So that'll all just get better over time. Lucanus has skills. We will do more on this one. When an ability deals a crit hit, any active afflictions on the target gain additional stack and reset the durations, and you gain precision. Sorry for the abrupt cut in between upgrading skills here. My PC crashed. It's been an issue that I've been kind of observing and troubleshooting over the past week or so, and unfortunately it's happened again. It's very shitty when it happens during recording. I think I potentially got the issue now, finally. I've been trying many different things, and probably one of the first things I should have done was rolling back my NVIDIA driver to the previous version, because I think that's kind of when issues started. I've been adjusting power settings and looking at specific programs and turning like undervolting and, you know, all sorts. And I think rolling it back to the previous driver may be the thing. Because I'm kind of pushing my luck here and putting everything on maximum settings on everything just to see if it will, you know, be the core issue. There's no way to know until it happens again. So either it'll crash or it won't, because, you know, we've been able to successfully play the game for the past hour and a bit without any issues. So I'm almost just trying to stress test it and see if that's a problem. So I'm not sure what specifically has or hasn't been saved. I've just loaded an autosave. Lucanus I've given these upgrades to, and my character, I think, yeah, level 14, so it has those skills. So I think it saved some stuff, and then it's popped us back here. So we're going to run out and continue to go back to the Cobbled Swan, but apologies for that interruption. The flow of things.
Venatori ransacked a shop near the plaza. Templars let it happen.
The Knight Commander interfering again. Isn't there something you can do about it? The answer's to the Chantry.
I'm running into obstacles. He's got protection in the Magisterium.
Protection in the Magisterium. Well, we already saw that happen anyway. We have Nev's case notes on Tarkin. Tarkin, because it just makes me think of Star Wars. So we've got Tarkin. Met the man shadowing me. Name's Tarquin. Got tired of his antics, hid, and doubled back to approach him from behind. If he was surprised, he hid it well. Said he wanted to know if I could be trusted before he spoke to me. I pointed out that my trustworthiness aside, his methods gave me no reason to trust him. He conceded. He wanted to know if I had a lead on the red lyrium potions coming through the docks. He'd seen evidence of a cover-up in Templar reports and wanted to compare notes. Might be able to make real progress from this. Rana's heard of him, a soldier from Ventus who quit the military and took a place with the Templars in Minrathous. Keeps his head down, mostly deals with paperwork in the archives. Got the impression he isn't well liked by his superiors. Explains the side job. Nice. Okay, so there's a perk to reloading. Coming back through the hideout has put some codex notes in my inventory. The Viper. More new faces in Docktown looking for work. Say they're refugees from the front, but the scars tell a different story. The shutdown of that textile mill north of Arsariel was all over the broadsheets. Story says sold to new owners, but word on the street is that it's another successful slave rebellion. In just the past year, the South Nosen shipyard, caravan moving slaves to Ventus, the mines, and the 100 Pillars, perhaps more if they kept it quiet. If you know who to ask and you ask about the rebellions, you'll hear about the Viper. They say he arrives, helps the slaves, finds them new lives, and then disappears. I like the sound of it. Slave rebellions used to get put down easy. Something's changed. Is it just this mysterious Viper? Or is there something else going on here? Nice. So Nev is gonna, give us the information from these characters that I want to know, but we just have to get it from Nev's codex entries instead. Doesn't look like there's one for Maverus. Yet, at least. Maybe that'll be an update.
A candle hop. They carry messages through the city.
Oh, cool. Coming back here gives us... Oh, that's what the... Right. The candle hop message. Curious about you and you of us. Other candle hops? Find, please. Oh.
Is this for us?
Oh my god.
Strange. Wants us to find more.
Candlehops are sentient. This is what we saw in that room when we were exploring last time. We found that guy in a room filled with like dead candlehops where it looks like he'd been like killed by them. Refreshing the hideout gave us that positive at the very least.
Why does everyone call him the Viper?
Drama. He's a symbol. Slavers aren't going to shiver in their boots about Asher. Viper. Shadow dragons. Names like that get people talking.
Woo? Lorelei, the Shadow Dragon Fence. I thought Lorelei might be from Ferelden, the way she called her assistant Pup, and how she seems to be just a little bit more interested in news about the South than most people I've met up here. During the Fifth Blight, Terran Loghain sold people from the Denerim alienage to Tevinter slavers to fund his war. Lorelei was one of those people. She doesn't want to talk about what happened, but it sounds like she joined the Shadows after they helped free her in a rebellion they supported. Nice. Lorelei wears a little wood carving of Denerim's Venadal, Tree of the People. It's the one thing she kept from there. The slavers took everything else. From Harding's notes on the Shadow Dragons. That's some nice Dragon Age Origins connectivity that I really love. That is awesome. Love that. You know what would be even more awesome? You go back to like Dragon Age Origins and there's the character Lorelei, you know? Wouldn't that be sick? I actually don't know if Lorelei's a name in one of the NPCs that we know or talk to. But it would be really interesting if that was the case. I'd pick an actual named NPC from the Denerim alienage just to connect it even further, you know?
Hi, Rook.
Hello. So that saved. We didn't find a beacon, I guess. I think like what tracks your progress physically in the game is the beacons. If you discover a beacon, it sort of acts as a checkpoint for you. There is a new quest for us down that way. We'll get to it. So this is where we were.
So, you're not sure you can trust me, but it was your idea to hire me.
I made the suggestion. Rook made the call. Why? Are you worried I have ulterior motives? That I planted the idea in Rook's head for my own ends?
That wasn't where this was going.
Really? Because I'd have questions. A Tevinter mage breaks a demon-possessed assassin out of prison. What's her angle?
Mierda. And people say I'm overly suspicious.
Okay. You know what's funny? The classic bridge being the trigger for companion dialogue feels very nostalgic. I'm glad that we were able to get the first bit of companion dialogue between them before the game crashed, because I think we did this section, enemies appeared, then we will hit level 14, and then yeah, the game crashed. Timing. Again, it's like this part of me that can't help but be like, I want to push around and explore, but then I'm like, I might just hit a barrier that's like, I can't do anything at this time, and it just makes me want to wait. Oh, but now I've fallen down. Hello, you two. Alright, well, I've explored, and now I've fallen into an area, and I can't get up. Here we go. And we can't swim, so gotta be careful. For a Canary that never learned to swim, but also we were picked up from the Mornwatch when we were a baby. I don't know if they got beaches over that way.
Messages to no one.
Candlehop conspiracy, messages to no one. This Candlehop thing is really intriguing. That's definitely got my my interests peaked. Maybe we'll go back to that room with all the Candlehops.
Ruffled any feathers lately?
No. Or no one's tailed me if I did.
All right. If you run into trouble, get in touch.
Floating newsstands is so cool. Draft for the Weekly Truth. A series of chalk symbols was found on rocks along the shoreline along with the words, "The storm approaches." There was no sign of wreckage among the rocks, though this humble writer found a lantern of unusual make, but clearly meant for the prow of a boat. The tide has since stolen the message, but dear reader, we still must ask, was this a message from across the sea? That's pretty fun. Chalk symbols might be similar to like the paint for the Canary. A lantern built for the prow of a boat, so it could be from the Canary related.
How's business?
Faithful readers seek me out. I do it for them.
Weekly Truth Story Idea List. Secret research at the Circle, what they're covering up. New translation of the Catacombs tablets, how a former mistranslation had us looking the wrong way. Can Ducktown's detective speak to cats? We'll have to ask Nev. Feline leads in major cases. Snake people among us? Oh god. We got the lizard people, but instead it's snake people. Love it.
I'm sorry. Late night.
Riveting dialogue there. A lot of news peddlers in this part of town. Okay, so we've just basically circled around. So I see. So we have the arrows on the map that are like, you will end up here. What if I want to hit this convenient hole? Go specifically onto this one ledge to get this specific bit of Imperial weed, eh?
You're keeping an eye on me. Is it the demon or the mage killer name?
Where are you?
Maybe I want the secrets of your coffee supplier.
That's not...
Don't flatter yourself too much. I don't trust anyone on first meeting, and I keep an eye on everything.
Well, if you do want coffee, let me know.
Coffee obsession. They're gonna go out for coffee together. The two brooding companions can brood together.
People are still getting over demons pouring from the sky. Oh, what's next?
Demons coming from the ground? Unheard of. The deep grounds? The deep roads? Potentially.
Thanks for that.
I am your vessel!
Let's end this.
I feel...
Get out of there!
Nice move.
Everyone all right?
Yes. I'd like to fast travel to the wharf crossing south.
Lockdown's never short on nightlife, is it?
It's when the streets are most alive. And when I'm likely working.
The nightlife was always more Hilario's thing. He said I should get out more. Fulfilling crow contracts didn't count.
We're going to be jumping in front of everything, apparently. Map of Secrets, a glowing map that appears to shift when seen from different angles. The Kirkwall Select. Currently boosts all damage by 1% when acquired. Oh, 1%? Is that worth 500 gold? Does it stack? So I've acquired it. And then I can sell it to another group.
The Archon doesn't care. I'm sure he cares a little.
If he does, it's only because his cats live here.
I'm assuming that the gold that I buy it for, it's gonna be worth it for the points that I acquire for my different factions.
Did you hear? Darkspawn in Dogtown. If I'm not here tomorrow, you're probably gone.
Good at juggling the balls. We have cat. Getting that pure ore needed for Shadow Dragon's upgrade. Minrathous, capital of the Imperium. The Minrathous I visited as a child was a place of wonder. A city steeped in magic and grand tradition. I remember how it felt to stand in the courtyard of the Archon's palace with the starry sky above and the city lights below. And there I was, suspended in that galaxy between silver and gold. Minrathous, the capital. I was so proud. Years later, upon my return, I experienced the other side of Minrathous, Docktown's unmistakable scent of liquor and low tide, street meat eaten by canals, smoky from charcoal and steaming in the damp air, stolen kisses in the ruddy lamplight of the cobbled swan, no stars that you could see through the dust and the rain. Instead, there was poverty and desperation, hands that reached for the coin I offered, a scrap of uneaten food, nothing to me and everything to them. I lied to myself about it, made excuses for it, but I've known for a long time that Minrathous is not one city, but two. Excerpted letter from Magister Dorian Parvis to Varric Tethris. Dorian mentioned... That's our second one? I'm wondering if the game is going to do the thing where it's going to fill in world building in the sense of codex entries like that, which is appropriate, without showing us. But I'm holding out hope. We're in Tevinter. We could have Dorian show. It all depends what he's up to these days. He could have literally fled Tevinter to go hang out with the Iron Ball. But of course, we wouldn't be able to know that because the storyline of the romance is up to us and not canon.
You make stories, don't you?
Look around and you'll find something. We've got, I don't know, something you might need?
We've got, I don't know, actually, I have no idea. We have the Arlathan Night Sword. Balanced for swift fighting, this blade allows its wielder to close the gap on their enemies in a blink. Crafted from ancient Arlathan alloys. Let's get some more mementos. Mementos seems to be the thing that I'm just keen to buy the most. Honestly? But I guess I should check the items to see if it has a... This permanently increases your stats by a single %. A resonant piece of unknown metal tempered in the breath of an archdemon. It's said to reveal where whispers cross, but its Venatori makers are no longer available to elaborate. In a well-loved book, a battered copy of the illustrated novel, Inquisition Exposed, rated 5 scarves, fluttered in shock out of 5 by the notorious Randy Dowager Quarterly. Lovely.
I came down here to procure particular items. I'm told Docktown is a discreet place to shop.
Upgrades to things. We can get ourselves... We can turn that into an uncommon piece of gear. We can upgrade...
Something fancy.
Her dragon coat. This cold damaging is increased by 50% per stack of chilled. That ain't bad. That means going back to the previous armor, though. A comfortable outfit cut in the sharp lines of popular Tevinter fashion, crafted in the style of Tevinter. My Canary choosing to wear this casual wear is kind of hilarious, though. A fashionable scarf. I think we'll leave that alone.
Return again.
The tailor. Candlehop advertisement. Messages delivered in a wink. Trust the Candlehops. We deliver, and there they are. So, Candlehops having a weird mind of their own. I'm curious to look into that further for sure.
Rumored resistance group affront. Aspirations of hostile takeover.
This is like one of the elements that I'm really excited at. Like when we go through here, I'm always just like, want to see what's going on with the citizenry and the day-to-day life. That boat is absolutely stacked. For all the people up there, let's do what we're not supposed to do because they don't really want to do this. They don't want you to do this, which is exactly why we're going to do it. Let's see how detailed they are all the way back there. Full focal length. You know what? They're fucking fully modeled over there. Jesus Christ. Look at that. That's nuts. Now, they may not be moving or animated, but those are some fully modeled NPCs on the bridge in the background there. You know what? They put them all out there and went, they're going to go and look. It doesn't matter that they all know how to levitate above a solid surface. They are not 2D JPEG images in the background. There you go. They're actually fully modeled. Don't know if they're moving. They're probably not moving. But the fact that you can see a populated bridge in the background and it doesn't actually look terrible under scrutiny if I go all the way over there, pretty good. Surprised me. I expected them to be an interesting sight.
How?
You getting into trouble?
Always.
I wonder what happens if we talk to them when we don't have Nev. Alright, we close to the Cobbled Swan then? Yes. Cobbled Swan time.
I am Jowin Glastrom, First Warden and Supreme Commander of Weishaupt. I received word of your team's request for Grey Warden assistance after an incursion of the Blight at Demeter's Crossing. How does a Morn Watcher come to be involved with the Blight in Arlathan? And not just any Watcher, but a controversial figure after what you pulled during that undead rebellion.
Okay. This is cool. And it would be so interesting if we had the Grey Warden background as well. I'd be so curious to how this could play out. I was tempted to do the Grey Warden background only to kind of hold on to the Dragon Age Origins feeling of, you know, being a Warden, but being a Warden who's not with the Wardens felt a little strange. You're like, get out of here. So I was like, I'll resist. But it's cool that we actually have a Warden presence in the game.
My decisions regarding our noble dead are hardly relevant here.
Very well. Then tell me how a Navaran necromancer apologist unleashed the Blight.
Right, our first Warden is a grade A asshole already. Well, we saved the world from Solus and then doomed it with Elganon and Gillinane.
I think unleashed is a little strong. It was an unfortunate side effect.
The Blight was a side effect?
Yes, of stopping the Dreadwolf Elven God of Lies from destroying the Veil. We did stop him, by the way. You're welcome.
I did not come here to listen to fairy tales. I am here because of the Blight.
It's no fairy tale. When we stopped Solus, something got out. According to the Veil Jumpers, it was the Elven gods Elganon and Gillinane. And they're not just evil. They're blighted. The point is that the gods are making the Blight worse. Demeter's Crossing was just the start. That's why we need the Grey Wardens.
I suspected more politicking from the remnants of the Inquisition. I see now that I was wrong.
I'm really glad to hear that.
It is clear that whatever you did to unleash the Blight, has corrupted your already weak mind.
Okay, wait.
You will be taken to Weishaupt and placed under heavy guard until the danger you caused by unleashing the Blight passes.
Brother. God. Your weak mind.
Are you kidding me?
I assure you, I am deadly serious.
Come on, call him an idiot.
I don't have time to sit here and stroke your ego. You need to shut up and listen. The threat is real. The gods are coming, and they're bringing the Blight with them.
Let me tell you something about the Blight. It is evil, it is implacable, and above all, it is predictable. The Blight has not changed in over 1,000 years. The Grey Wardens will defeat it, as they always do. And we will do so without you causing confusion with your deranged conspiracy theories. I suggest you come along quietly.
Adamant Fortress 941 Dragon. The Grey Wardens attempted to raise an army of demons. Hardly the models of good judgment yourselves, are you?
Everyone knows Warden Commander Clarel acted alone at Adamant Fortress.
Acted alone, you say? Imagine if everyone were to see the letter I discovered where you authorize her actions. I wonder how that might complicate the narrative.
Are you prepared to risk the security of the Grey Wardens for this deluded boy?
You may be surprised to learn that I care very little about the security of the Grey Wardens.
Stay away from the Blight, and do not pester the Grey Wardens with any more of your nonsense.
Damn, that did not go well.
He seems upset. Was it something I said?
Dorian Parvis, my boy. He has grown, hasn't he? He's back in his Tevinter fashion. He is in the game. He's not just in the Codex. That's good. Well, the first Warden sucks, doesn't he? The Blight has not changed in 1,000 years. Pish posh. When you have the dialogue option of, shut up and listen to me, you idiot. Instead of saying, are you kidding me? Let's go for the actual option with the fist icon. You know what I mean? The are you kidding me seems like it would be the humorous option of being like, oh, that just happened. Let me call someone an idiot. It's written, but it's not spoken. And that is a frustrating situation to be in when you're literally begging the people that can help, and they're just calling you deluded and weak-minded. That fucking sucks.
Who are you? Why do you have dirt on the Grey Wardens?
I was at Adamant. Magister Dorian Parvis, at your service. A mutual friend thought you might require some support.
Mevaris Talani? Of the Shadow Dragons?
The very same.
Awesome.
What's your relation to the Shadow Dragons?
About a decade ago, Mevaris and I started a political faction called the Lucerni. We were going to change Tevinter for the better. Everyone would recognize the common sense benefits of our approach, and we'd all live happily ever after.
I take it that didn't happen.
Mevaris was framed, kicked out of the Magisterium, and the Lucerni were dissolved. So she took the movement underground.
The Shadow Dragons.
Since I still haunt the Magisterium, that makes me the Shadow Dragon's man on the inside.
Pretty awesome. We gotta get Dorian a better barber, though, I reckon. We need the first Warden, but we need him to not be an asshole.
So now what? The first Warden tried to have me locked up. I need the Wardens on my side.
Jowen Glastrom is not the Order. He's more politician than Warden. No Grey Warden worth the name sits in a Menrathus lounge sipping wine. You need the Wardens? Look for the ones out there fighting the Blight. In the meantime, the Shadow Dragons will keep a close watch on the Venatori. Good luck. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon.
Only the veil stood between us and a world of blighted darkness.
Oh, that's so cool.
But on this side, the gods could only tap a trickle. They had to turn that trickle into a flood. They sure could have used Solus's dagger to rip open the Fade. But some foolish mortal had taken it. So, they'd have to create a dagger of their own. Drowning the world in blight was just a matter of time.
So cool. I love Varric's little scenes. The artwork is so incredible. I love that rift shot, Blighted Darkness. Well, that didn't go well, did it? We need to talk to Varric. You got an original ogre in that artwork. Look at that. That looks good. There's the joining and the calling, the beginning and the end. Every Grey Warden gets the first. They drink the potion of Archdemon blood, laced with more magic than they know. If they survive, they'll sense the Darkspawn, hear the Blight's song. The Blight itself won't hurt so much. They'll be forever changed. I was forever changed. Not everyone survives the joining. They end at the beginning. Others end in battle. They're killed by Darkspawn, or maybe some other monster kills them. We go to sunless and forsaken places. We fight what would devour Thetis. We don't always return. I've survived all those battles myself. It makes me no better than anyone else. Finally, there's the calling. And that is the end, no matter how far you've come. After the joining, the Blight won't hurt so much, but it's still inside you. And in the end, it still wins out. The Blight song, and one you can only hear because you're a Warden, starts to change. It starts to call you. At first, you can ignore it, and then one day you can't, because you're changing. At first, you can't see it, but then you can, in the veins of your arms, the circles under your eyes. So you leave. You find the biggest batch of Darkspawn you can, and you take down as many as you can before the Blight takes you. You leave the world a little safer. The other Wardens will tell you that you'll know when the time comes, that you'll be certain when it's real, but they haven't heard the calling yet, and you wonder if it's really true. If you'll really know. You will. I do. I've got my spot in the deep roads picked out. Take care of yourself. A page torn from Warden Erin's journal, left for Warden Theo. Damn, okay. Very nice. I was wondering if that was going to be written by a Warden that we were familiar with or not, but we did get an Adamant Fortress callback there for Inquisition. Return to the lighthouse. All right. I think considering what we've explored here so far, and there are some inaccessible stuff, and then new quest over this way. Head back to the lighthouse, and then we'll check out the quest line and some other things later. Dorian showing up in Deventer only makes sense, and I'm glad that we got to see that. He's kept the iconic mustache. Anyone want to talk here? Let's see. Yes, only everyone. Before we speak with Varric, let's check in with our companions. Oh yes, the gifts.
Wow, thank you.
Oh. Cool. Okay. Well, I guess that's polite. Wow, thank you. An avocado. Thanks. That's as far as that went. Gotcha. Well, bond increased.
This was with my things. It looks like your handwriting. I didn't read it. Well, a couple of words. I thought it might be one of mine. I don't even know how it got there.
It's those wisps. I need more wards.
Oh, I can help with that.
I started this. I'll deal with it.
I like being able to walk in and having companions interacting with each other. That's nice.
Solus lived here. The Dreadwolf. It was gonna have quirks.
Solus is the worst tenant I followed, and that's saying something.
Maybe they like you.
Do you follow the chantry? The pendant. I noticed it's Andrastian.
I barely keep the holidays. It's from an old job.
Oh, which one? Maybe I read about it in a Timiter paper.
I'm barely in the papers.
Oh, but when you are, it's on the edge of something exciting. What about that one story with the demon, the diamond, and the deadbeat magister? Oh, they mentioned you twice.
That was a hit piece.
Okay. Match the energy, Nev. She's like, no. And Bellara's trying. They're trying to connect. A hit piece? That's not very nice. Oh no, we're meant to be Dylan.
Great. What happened with the diamond?
Long story.
Oh, cool.
What's the short version?
You take a dip off the dock for a rock, make sure the mage can't freeze you in. You know, that job would have gone smoother, but the client ratted me out, the demon.
What?
It's always something. Funny how that didn't make the print. Tell me you read the rest of the paper too?
Oh, yes. Sometimes they have these stories, serials. They're thrilling, except they come out in pieces. I only see a few papers a year. I never know how the stories end.
These papers are from Minrathous, right? I'm guessing there's blood magic, murder, tears.
That checks out.
Who's the second most innocent character? 10 gold says they're the killer.
What about the most innocent?
I don't know. They die.
What?
All right, Belle. You get me the name of your serial, I'll try and track the ending. Just don't say we didn't warn you. I'd like to go back anyway. Spend time in Darktown, pick up gossip.
Want company?
Why not? Ready to go when you are.
Approval. Oh. And then they disappeared. Oh, over here now. Where'd she go? Theories on the Scarred Queen, written in Bellara's scrawled hand. Nev, first 3 issues are done. I already have some theories. So, the way that the Scarred Queen talks, it's very formal, very fancy. No one talks like that in the Scarred Queen, except the Warden Commander. And so far, they've never shared a single scene. You've never seen the Scarred Queen and the Warden Commander in the same room. Starting to think they're the same person. Written in Nev's cramped hand. Nice theories, Belle, and more interesting than the Scarred Queen and the Warden Commander being sisters. If you want a theory back, some evidence points to the Scarred Queen being a manifestation of Malin's anger. When you read about her harrowing, the writer is very careful not to say how it ended. Not concretely, anyway. Why leave that out? Feels deliberate.
Look who's thoughtful.
Okay, so you get a nice little, a nice little line of dialogue. Just the one being like, thanks, or thoughtful. And it gets to decorate their rooms. This table's more kitted out now because we're all eating at it. Oh, goodness. Drinking coffee? He's obsessed.
Rook, Ilario sent word. He's got intel on Zara. He wants to meet up. Fancy a trip to Treviso?
Sounds like fun.
Nice. Coffee! They can't... What is with the coffee obsession? Now we speak with Harding. Hello?
You've been quiet?
I know. Just thinking. But I said we'd talk, didn't I? I heard a voice after we saved that man. It told me I was touched by the ancients and that I should seek it out. Seek her out.
Voices. I don't like that at all.
I know what it must look like, but something tells me the voice wants to help. What if she's like me? Maybe that's why only I heard her. She said to look to those closest to the stone to locate her.
Meaning?
The children of the stone. Dwarves. Not surfacers like me, but the ones from the deep roads. Almost 10 years ago, a shaper from Orzammar bonded with a titan.
Titans. Ancients. You think it's related?
It would make sense, wouldn't it? Volta. That was the shaper's name. Maybe there are more like her down there.
It's interesting that this is a flirt option. Bring back Shaper Volta, I say.
I'd like for you to get the answers you're looking for.
Me too. I know some people in Orzammar. I'll reach out. If I hear anything, you'll be the first to know.
Can we go to Orzammar? Or is the south off limits? We won't be allowed down there, I guess. Canary and a surfacer in the deep roads? Well, in the deep roads maybe. In the deeper in Orzammar, definitely not. You see about I can almost upgrade the sharp rank. Let's go talk with Varric. We haven't had a full with our current party session in this place yet. We're gonna need to get more chairs.
There you are. I haven't seen much of you lately. I was getting worried. Everything all right? Wait, that dagger. I've seen it before.
Solus was using it at the ritual site.
No, before that. Shit, it can't be. Look at it, Rook.
Look at it. No, I don't think I will. I wonder if he's going to draw a connection with the lyrium idol that became Meredith's blade that is now going to become a red lyrium dagger instead. He might do Meredith's blade as like a mention.
I've been fidgeting with this thing since I picked it up, Varric. I know what it looks like.
Remember that story I told you about me and Hawk, Meredith and Orsino? How the trouble started in Kirkwall? On our expedition to the deep roads, that's what we found. That's what my brother tried to kill us for. An idol made of red lyrium. That sang a song which drove anyone who heard it mad.
Are you sure it's the same thing?
Oh, look at it. It's changed, but it's the same size. Same ring at the top. Not to mention, it's pure lyrium. No one, not even the dwarves in Orzammar, work pure lyrium like that. It's too dangerous.
If that's true, if this dagger is the red lyrium idol from your story, how did Solus cleanse it of the blight?
I have no idea. I can't believe you found it.
Oh, hey, Rook. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
So good. I love the inclusion and like the lore development of the red lyrium idol, which has so much weight and history to it, becoming Meredith's blade, getting purified by Solus, becoming his dagger. For the whole Veil thing, it's fascinating. It's such a great little way to connect things. I feel bad for the people that skipped Dragon Age 2 because there's even though it's contained to Kirkwall for the most part, it has larger implications. It establishes a lot of core elements that go into Dragon Age Inquisition as well. It does serve in the timeline very, very well. Anytime I get Dragon Age 2 lore mentions or anything that like references it, I just get so happy because I'm like, I can't believe people like skip that game. Skip it. I'm like, are you kidding? Not only does it have Hawk in it, but it just has so many good pieces. I really, really enjoyed Dragon Age 2. And getting moments like this with Varric is really enjoyable too, you know? I'm glad that he's at least here to talk through with us about things because he's such an anchor point for Dragon Age. to Inquisition, and now he'll pick up our stories from this one as well.
That depends. Am I talking to Lace Harding, or...?
Things are weird, but I'm adjusting, I think. That's not what I came in here for, though.
All right, Harding. What's on your mind?
So, the Wardens. I know some. A married couple Varric and I met while we were tracking Solus.
I'd almost forgot about that. I really am getting too old for this shit.
You think they'll talk to us? After the first Warden and everything?
It's worth a try. I can write them and hope.
Okay. Let's see who's in our corner.
Pretty good. That's cool. So, Warden's best friend.
My advice on befriending abominations would be don't. In this case, just keep an eye on him.
I had a thought, and I let it slip. Yeah, Varric is like at a point where he's like, I'm too old for this shit. That's why he can't tell us specifics on certain things. We can't talk to him because he don't remember. He's old now. All right. Nice. We've spoken to our companions. We have a lot more quests to do. The journal is really filling up, like quite a lot. So we've got Nev and Lucanus's companion quest lines. We've got more faction stuff. I might drop into the Crossroads next episode and see if we can find some more things. That'll be very useful for us. Maybe have another one of those Solus memories. We'll see. But I'll bring this episode of Dragon Age the Veilguard to a close. Thank you so much for joining me today. I enjoyed some of the story elements that we've gotten to enjoy this episode in terms of the first Warden showing up, being an arsehole. I wish that we could have been a bit more direct with him. Varric making connections with the Illyrium idol is really satisfying too. And again, just being able to explore more areas within Tevinter, like Docktown, is great, and I feel like we're only scratching the surface in terms of locations that we'll be able to travel to. We've obviously got more companions that will join the party over time. I'm curious about this married Warden couple and how they'll develop and what lies around the corner for us. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dragon Age the Veilguard, and I'll see you next time.